Friends, I have always wondered if innovative disruption or disruptive innovation can be a tool of the future. Both the business and in politics, both are important. Businesses that were teetering during COVID times have begun to perk up, and politics anyway is a national pastime. Both need new ways and means in the current milieu to succeed. In fact, disruption has changed the way we conduct our education as well. I have been speaking to you on education related topics for some time. However, disruption in education will be scheduled for a later date. So, welcome today to another episode of Saturday Wisdom, where I will analyze for you what disruption has been both in business and in politics. New strategies are explored all the time. However, some brilliant ideas are needed to succeed in both politics and business. Businessmen and political parties are increasingly discussing strategies of innovative disruption to succeed. Believe me, there are several similarities in the two. The days of four propositions by Joel Bradshaw, a prominent political scientist, for developing a successful campaign strategy is possibly passé. Harvard Business Review a few years back reported the theory of disruptive innovation as having proved to be a powerful way of thinking about innovation-driven growth. A series of reports from Deloitte University Press on disruption are worth $1 million to read. Many leaders of small entrepreneurial companies praise it as their guiding star. Executives, even in large, well-established organizations, including Intel, Southern New Hampshire University, and Salesforce.com, swear by disruption for success. Merchant Cash and Capital, MCC, an industry leader, specializes in small business loans to companies that are unable to get traditional loans from banks and credit unions. MCC has changed the entire experience of borrowing money by eliminating the need for a personal guarantee, reducing the amount of paperwork or underwriting, and by funding in 3 days instead of weeks or months. SDL, Simple, Okta, Hello World, Mendix, It's On, Avande, 2Checkout, and GP Shopper are all disrupting existing business practices, challenging the established players in their own backyard, and are actually seen as the trendsetters. Most researchers, writers, and consultants use disruptive innovation to describe any situation in which an industry is shaken up and previously successful incumbents stumble. Politics is the new baby on the block. Disruption, as described by Harvard Business Review, is a process whereby A smaller company with fewer resources is able to successfully challenge established incumbent businesses. As incumbents focus on improving their products and services for their most demanding and usually most profitable customers, they exceed the needs of some segments and ignore the needs of others. Challengers that prove disruptive begin by successfully targeting those segments which are overlooked, gain a foothold by delivering more suitable functionality, frequently at a lower price. Incumbents chasing higher profitability in more demanding segments tend not to respond with the same vigor. Challengers then move up market, delivering the performance that incumbents' mainstream customers require. They, however, preserve the advantages that drove their early success. When mainstream customers start adopting the challengers' offerings in volume, disruption has occurred. Innovative disruption in politics is similar and can pay rich dividends for the political parties that disrupt and challenge the established players. Adopting and appropriating this theory 7 years back, a typical challenger political party, BJP, took on the professionals in their own backyard. They overlooked business segments as marginalized people who would then be their most ardent supporters, recreated sustainable functionality through judicious use of technology, and added value for services delivered and pitched them as value for money. They are ruling the country today. Incumbents obviously would be pushed back several notches, unable to compete, and would be forced to lie low in these demanding times, looking for an already yielded political space of similar disruptive opportunities. The innovative disruptor has now moved up market and even into uncharted waters, so to say, delivering performance and value as they went along, driving themselves to success after success. In business, Uber Technologies Incorporated, commonly known as Uber, an American mobility service provider based in San Francisco, with operations in over 900 metropolitan areas worldwide, is a classic example of how to disrupt traditional businesses. However, in politics, two main political parties are classic examples of incumbent and challenger dispensations. The mainstream customers or the common people have now started adopting the offerings in volume. The challenger party that has singularly contributed to the political innovative disruption has truly arrived. Simply put, BJP has truly arrived. Be it demonetization that broke the back of black currency, or nationwide implementation of goods and services tax, or the thrust on digital economy as a way of life, or the passing of the Triple Talaq bill by the cabinet, are all massive disruptions that in some way benefit the last mile in the supply chain. Aadhaar linking to services offered has still unexplored possibilities that may connect people like never before, or may also manifest in ways that can disrupt human lives irrevocably. Disruption must, as a rule, seek the attention of the common man or woman on the street by demonstrating a will to walk the talk. Initiation is noble, but implementing a process is doubly noble. The problem with conflating a disruptive innovation with any breakthrough that changes a country's ideological patterns is that different types of innovation require different strategic approaches. The flip side of this is that the lessons one learns about succeeding as a disruptive innovator or defending against a disruptive challenger may not apply to every social milieu in shifting aspirational value systems and expectations of imaginative youngsters. If we get sloppy with the implementation models or fail to integrate insights from subsequent research and experience into the original theory, then political managers may end up using the wrong tools for their context, reducing their chances of success. Over time, the theory's usefulness will be undermined. The opposition parties have a lot to learn from these observations. It's also sometimes necessary that cultural and social conventions are not followed. The disruption strategy masters must anticipate future trends to determine what could lift the party higher and then define a disruption platform to get them there. A bullet train, a seaplane, a roll-in, roll-out ferry service are innovations that catch the imagination and pulse of the people. Whether general elections, the UP or Gujarat elections, they all proved a point. Simple disruption strategy was akin to carpet bombing. All the tall leaders descended on the scene of action, with each one's role pretty well defined and the leader being always there to lead from the front. Bengal may not have been won, but it has established BJP as a principal opposition party. How many times have we seen a state election being taken so seriously as has been done now? Innovative disruption seeks a method in the madness. Innovative disruption must identify triggers in the cultural milieu that are meaningful to the people's needs. These triggers must then be interpreted in real time and then determine the course of action in order for the innovation to be responsive and relevant. That course of action could be a tweet, or it could be a PR stunt, the beginning of a campaign, or a new thought process. It can be anything and not necessarily executed by the innovators themselves. Technology has a massive role in realizing the potential of such innovative disruptions. The challenger to this process used technology and continues to use it in so many innovative ways that the experts are constantly challenged to deliver. Big data analytics, people profiling, use of artificial intelligence, use of intelligent agents to to build cutting edge applications and projection of data and people based on the intelligent patterns that evolve, you name it, all have been used, leaving the incumbent to end up a poor second, third, or even lower. Trend setting on steroids is the way to go. This is an age of empathy. Competition must never stand still. Backlash must be created every single day for innovative outcomes. Backlash must then be contained with more innovation. Political astuteness and the will to take the bull by the horn are indeed virtues. These are exciting times with digital disruption, disrupting our lives every single day. What could be more exciting than the fact that for once this change is being triggered by our political masters? So friends, this is all for today, with a promise to return next Saturday with another episode. Have a great weekend. Namaskar, Dhanyavad, and thank you.